Good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming. This is a regular council meeting for this evening. I'd like to call the meeting to order. We do have a quorum. Do we have any communication from the audience?
No, sir.
None? Okay. Would you do the invitation? Sure. Thank you.
Well, I just come in and just thank you for this beautiful day. We just thank you for your protection over our city, over our families, over all that we do. We just ask for your presence in our meetings, that you guide and direct our decisions. Lord, that you just put the presence of your wisdom in this room. Just be with those that need you, Lord, in our community. May you point them out to us. May we all reach out and be a helping hand where we're needed to be. In Jesus' name, amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm going to have to use your microphone.
You stole my microphone.
I'll give it back to you.
I don't need one. I'm loud enough about it.
Okay, we have the minutes from the regular council meeting of January 6th. I'd like to get a motion to approve those, please.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Mayor's report, okay. Whew. So on the $11.4 million grant, it's multiple projects. We've asked for an extension. It's been submitted to GLO. It was submitted way last year. Camelot Dam bids have come in. They're being tabulated right now, evaluated for their references, and to make sure that they've quoted everything that they were supposed to quote for the rebuilding of Camelot Dam. We still need to bid Ivanhoe Dam and Tristan Dam. Tristan is still they're working on the design because the first one that TCEQ came to us with was cost prohibitive, so we're working on that. That's the admin side. Engineering, Lake Camelot Dam, 7 bids were received. They varied from $1.48 million to $3.4 million for the same project. So, as I said, they're currently reviewing and tabulating the bids. Lake Ivanhoe Dam, this one is really drug out. It was submitted to TCEQ with one more comment made. Are addressing that comment and revising the form that they require for my signature. Once that revision is in, it'll be sent to TCEQ. We should have received approval shortly. Lake Tristan, no progress made over the last month, mainly because of all the efforts that have been going into the other issues. Let's see. Need to coordinate in-house to work through the couple of minor design issues and questions to finalize the drawings to resubmit to TCEQ. This is the S-turn where the TCEQ wanted us to have 300 feet of 5-foot square box culverts. Even LJA thinks it's overkill. Everyone I speak to about it thinks that it's overkill. So our primary engineer is looking at redesigning that to something that meets the TCEQ requirements but can make it more affordable. Ivanhoe Drive and Mill Creek. Mill Creek is kind of at a standstill. We want Mill Creek done before we break ground on Ivanhoe Drive. But we're having issues with 3 of the roads on the west side of town. Camelot Circle, 22nd Street, and Galahad Loop have cracks in them both vertically and longitudinally, and Texas Materials is kind of saying that it's the engineer's fault. There was a problem with the specs. Texas Materials went to an outside engineer who could find nothing wrong with the technical specs, but looked at the contract and found one sentence out of context, and that's what Texas Materials is hanging their decisions on. They've come to us and want us to pay $126,000 for them to fix their mistake. That's not going to happen. LJA developed a disposition document. It was reviewed by multiple civil engineers with PE behind their names, and multiple attorneys at LJA. We had city attorneys review them. We had our grant manager review the specs and everything. And Texas Materials admits that they did not follow the instructions that were outlined by conducting tests at each interval of the construction of the road. So they're supposed to do testing at the subbase, testing at the base to determine the amount of humidity or water that's in the subbase. They did not do any of that. So I've forwarded that to Texas Materials along with a note letting them know that I reject those 3 roads and that we're waiting to get past this and look forward to being able to continue to move forward. We still have a retainer. 10% has been held back on those 3 roads. And I'm really kind of between a rock and a hard place on this one. So I sent them the response. I don't know if it was Monday or Friday. It was this week, and I haven't heard back from them yet. I think they're evaluating it and trying to determine a strategy or how to move forward, what to say when they come back to the table. So on the cracked roads, those 3 roads, LJA had Terracon analyzing Mill Creek samples also. After the issues with those 3 roads, Texas Materials dug a 6-foot hole in the middle of Mill Creek so they could find water. What's happened is that they put berms up on the side of the road. They didn't crown it, and water is running down the road, and the cement work that they've done thus far, we didn't tell them that it needs to be redone, but during the construction, if we find that the cement is not cured properly, then then we'll address it at that time. But they've been told what they need to do for the 200-foot stretch of the road that's soft. Lakewood, that's the $1.9 million grant. Elite is working on that. You've probably seen some of their work out there. They've pulverized the road and they've rolled it. They've wetted it. They're trying to keep it smooth. It's actually better than it was before they tore it up. They're going to have to go in and excavate 4 inches of material all the way from Camelot Dam to Tristan Dam, and to Galahad, and then from Galahad to Tristan. When they get to Tristan, they're going to have to excavate 6 inches and then come back with the 4 inches, because the finished road has to be at the same level as the original road was on Tristan Dam. That's a TCEQ requirement. So it's going to be an inconvenience for a while. But the construction has started. That's a good thing. Let's see here. Ivanhoe Drive. When we get Mill Creek to where it's passable and we can get out to the highway, we'll begin construction from the monuments to Camelot. And in speaking with Joe Blacksher, they're looking at spring sometime to begin construction on Ivanhoe Drive from Camelot to Charmaine Drive East. 28th Street, we resubmitted 28th Street, trying to get some grant money for the redistribution of the Harvey funds. There's a bucket of money out there. I'm hopeful that they'll find us or for this project to be acceptable. We're looking to get award letters or have an indication of who's going to get how much money in the next 2 or 3 weeks. At that time, we'll know if we were successful in our pursuit of that grant. Charmaine Dam, I submitted a bid or an application for a $400,000 grant. I actually submitted $300,000, but the grant administrator upped it to $405,000. That's got a 30% match. I kind of backed into our $300,000 number based on what our match would be and what we could afford. So if it works out, I can probably take and do the matching over 2 fiscal years. That's about it for that. Chief Drumm.
All right, good evening, council, mayor. For the month of January, we had 32 calls for service. We had 30 traffic stops, 21 citations, 14 warnings, 2 agency assists, and 2 narcotic arrests. A couple of notes. First thing is watch your animals. We're seeing more and more animals being reported on Facebook as either being dumped or people moving out of houses and leaving animals. We are following up on those, and we are pursuing those individuals. If you are abandoning your animals, then we are pursuing those. If you see something, report it. Report it directly to the police department or to the sheriff's office. Reporting it through Facebook does nothing. That's not a report to law enforcement. That's not a report to police. That's not a report to the sheriff's office. That's just going on Facebook and telling people your thoughts and feelings and everything else. So make sure you actually contact us if you need to file a report.
So would you also touch on non-emergency dispatch?
Non-emergencies, if it's not a 911 call, you can actually call the Tyler County Sheriff's Office. They have a non-emergency line that goes to a dispatcher, and dispatcher can always get a hold of one of the Ivanhoe police officers, as well as you can also call the police department number here at City Hall and catch one of us during the 8 to 5 hours. There's usually somebody in the office that can answer that as well. Four-wheelers. Let me go ahead and address this because the weather's starting to warm up a little bit. We've already had some issues with it. Four-wheelers are not allowed on city streets, plain and simple. If it's a device that you have, not a motorcycle, but a four-wheeler, if you straddle it, it is not a authorized vehicle for the city. And so therefore, if we do see somebody on four-wheelers, citations will be issued. No ifs, ands, or buts. The side-by-sides, if it's a UTV, things like that, we put that in the same category with the golf carts. We allow those, but you have to have a driver's license to be able to operate those. Another note, our racial profiling from last year has been submitted to the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement. That report's been received by them. That covers all of our racial profiling that we're required to do, and I have it in the office for any council member or anybody that wants to stop by, review it, see it. We have all that available as well. Besides that, it's cold, stay warm. We're getting ready to start coming into the springtime, so start watching as critters start moving.
So you're fully staffed now?
We are fully staffed, yes. All right.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Marshall, if you please.
This is one of those rare occasions where my report's going to be very short and very sweet. There's weather has wreaked havoc on our progress of everything in January, continuing through February, Where we used to have maybe 2 or 3 work orders, we are stacked up to, I think, 21 today. So we're going to have to play catch up and play it fast and get it done when the weather breaks. Unfortunately, we've got more rain coming this weekend. So not only can we not work during those periods, but our road materials are uncovered and they get wet, and they may take as long as a week to dry out. And we just can't put that wet material on, whether it be limestone or whatever. So we're just in a funk right now, but we'll get it taken care of and get back on track. Looking forward to the spring, as Steve said. We've got big plans this spring as far as what we can do. We've got the slope mower that we got from the county last year. We plan on putting it to really good use. We got a break with the cold weather and the freezing weather because it killed a lot of vegetation, and we're going to look at that as, hey, it's given us a head start. We can keep it down. Our herbicide rig is up and running and ready to go. So between the freeze, the slope mower, and the herbicide, I think we can have these road edges looking a whole lot better than we ever have before. So bear with us on that. Other than that, you summed up a lot, Mayor, of what's going on with contracts, and that's kind of where we're at too. We're waiting on them. So any questions on the road materials, what
Any
we're
more
doing?
outstanding culverts for the projects?
Done.
Done. Thought so.
We are done. Thank heavens. I like saving the city money, but we will never do that again. That really slowed us up, but I've got to give credit where credit is due, and that's to my crew. They doubled up, caught up, did a great job, got them all done, and we still managed to get the majority of our regular routine work done. So I'm very, very proud of those guys. Anything else on the roads? Nope. Okay, it is a rare night. The other thing while I'm here is the dam reports. Everything is status quo right now. Everything's looking good. The only issues is the one we've talked about in the past where we're kind of waiting on info. I know everybody has seen the metal plate out here. I know it's there. We keep an eye on it. It's not going anywhere. It shifts from time to time, but we put it back in place. I have been asked, why don't you fix it? Very, very quickly, it's not a hole. It's more of an indention, and it's concrete. If we just go back in there and pour concrete in it, there's not enough room for any rebar, chicken wire, or anything else. So the first time we hit it with the tires, it's going to crack, it's going to come right out, and then I'll get yelled at again. We can do it with asphalt for the time being, or I'm looking into the possibility of finding the correct epoxy that we can pour in there and stick and do what it's supposed to do and look more like concrete. The reason we haven't done it with the asphalt is because we're right at that time of year when we switch from our winter mix back to our summer mix. The difference in those two is one is dry for the winter to where we can use it when it's cold. The summer mix is much better. It's very liquefied, very sticky, and will hold much better. But we still have the winter mix for now, but about to switch over. So we can't find what we need. We'll at least put something in there with the summer mix to where we can get that plate out of everybody's hair. Okay? Can I, did you have a question?
No.
Okay.
I do.
Yes, sir.
The plate's not covering that hole right now.
It's covering about 90% of it. Yeah, it's got a little edge that we can see. Yeah. Aware of that very much.
They're aware that it moves, and they go and check it periodically.
Can I
Yes, sir.
give some thank yous here, and you know where I'm going with this?
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. For those of you that are not aware, after years and years of me begging, pleading, threatening, we have finally got a crew quarters for the crew that we have out there. For the last 8 years, nine, thank you. When it got cold, we built a fire and stood around it like we did this morning and yesterday morning when they worked the freeze, when it was 19. The only way they had to get warm was stand around a fire in the middle of the night. This has been going on for years. My office, unfortunately, is just not big enough to have 5 people in there and be able to move. So, through our mayor and myself and our city secretary, we're able to find a used portable building that's in excellent shape, like brand new. And we were able to get it moved onto the property. We are lucky to have an electrician on board with the crew, some carpenters, so we are in the process now of putting electricity to it. And the guys are just ecstatic. And we got another big surprise from the Friends of Ivanhoe. And Marion Blackstone, I think, headed this up, and I think Patsy had something to do with it as well. They decided that they would feel good if they donated a brand spanking new refrigerator, full size. So
Not quite.
that's a full size. It's a standard full size. I didn't want to go for the French doors and the, but we are very grateful for that, because 5 grown men in a refrigerator this big and this big that sits on the floor just doesn't cut it. So city also donated a couple of tables, chairs. We're fixed up. We wanted a table, and Miss Haley said, "No, we're not going to give you a table. We're going to get you what is?
It's a microwave pantry cart.
I thought you called it like a baker's,
rack.
whatever.
It's a microwave pantry cart, but it looks like a baker's rack.
You say that, and I keep thinking bread hanging off it, but it's.
It's a baker's rack,
Thank you.
microwave cart.
We're
Coffee
going to put
mess.
the microwave on it and get it fixed up. So I just wanted to thank all of y'all who was responsible or had a hand in this at all. Thank you. I thank you. The crew thanks you. Everybody's tickled. Hopefully they'll work harder now. Anything else? Nope, we're good. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks, sir. You bet. Planning and zoning, there have been changes there. Laurie Seams has resigned. Carolyn Williams is, as you know, is the new chairperson. I spoke with her today. The thing that's our top priority right now is establishing a registration and for the Airbnbs that are within the city, just so that we can know where they are, who they belong to, and a contact information for the police department in the event that there's an issue that needs to be resolved. So that's as far as it's gotten right now. They're in the process of it and hope to have something to present to us in the next couple of months. Justin's not here. Now then, the resolution. This is something the county had asked us to go in line with them on. It's a resolution of the City Council of the City of Ivanhoe to support an application for funding from Tyler County for grant funding, and with the selection, the development, and completion of a community wildfire defense grant through the United States Forest Service under the United States Department of Agriculture Community Wildfire Defense Program, better known as CWDG. Whereas the potential of wildfire within Tyler County represents a threat of life, property, and the general public, whereas the Community Wildfire Defense Program is intended to help at-risk local communities plan for wildfire events, identify specific community wildfire risks, and mitigate the threat of those risks, and whereas Tyler County intends to apply for funding from the United States Forest Service for a grant to create community wildfire mitigation program, and whereas if funds are awarded, the implementation of that grant could create educational programs and property-specific risk assessments and direct risk mitigation on county-controlled property and high-risk areas through the county. And whereas the City of Ivanhoe and its residents would benefit from the property risk assessment and educational programs during implementation of the program. And whereas Tyler County and/or the city within the county are considered to be disadvantaged by the United States Forest Service and thus may request a waiver to any match to the grant. And whereas application by the county does not limit the City of Ivanhoe from requesting funding for or implementing its own mitigation program. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Ivanhoe, 1, supports an application from Tyler County to the U.S. Forest Service. 2, will contribute to the implementation of the program by identifying at-risk critical structures, infrastructures, structures and areas in the city to be included in the grant. 3, will contribute to the implementation of the program by supporting wildfire outreach and educational activities. And 4, if needed, will work with program officers to create any needed interlocal agreements to achieve these actions. So I'd like a motion to adopt this resolution. Any discussion?
Do we have an idea of timing?
No, sir.
So this is,
This is being driven by the Tyler County and the Commissioners Court. They came to us and asked us to accept, to ride along with this and piggyback on them.
so we'll just have, what I see is some training requirements and other things that will be required of us if they are successful in getting a grant.
Yes, sir.
Make a motion based on reading of resolution 2025-4R to accept the resolution.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Consider for discussion the action to engage, it's an engagement letter with Goff Herrington for our fiscal 2024 financial audit. So I just need a motion to initiate an engagement letter with Goff and Herrington. This is what we've been using for years. It's just a formality. Can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept Goff and Harrington, PC.
Have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Yes, please.
How much was it last year,
How much was what?
the cost of the audit?
16,500.
How much?
16,500.
It's gone up a little.
It went up $500.
More than that.
Prior years it was 16,000. Was Goff and Harrington,
It says 17,250 in here in the contract.
17,250.
That's put in.
And the prior year it was 16,500.
So it's
It was 16 the prior year before that.
6%, 7% price increase.
That's reasonable. Today's $400.
Ms. Williams, you're up.
No, we had to vote.
Oh.
We held the vote.
All in favor? All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
My turn now?
Yes, ma'am, you're up now.
God, you really make me feel short when I come up here. All the financial documents and bank statements were sent to council on February 14th, including the account and financial reports and the reconciliation details for each account. The state comptroller direct deposited $11,477 on February 14th for sales and use taxes that were collected in December and reported to the comptroller in January. Last month, the sales tax deposit was $8,364. January ad valorem taxes were received February 5th, totaling $334,199, with $269,919 going to maintenance and operations and $64,280 for the interest and sinking fund. We received $11 payment for Ivanhoe North again. The calculated balance of delinquent taxes stands at $348,842 as of January 30th. The Texas class interest rate remained about 4.3% throughout the end of January. Nothing has changed with Citizen State Bank. After reviewing the totals for the various departments, budgets are correct, the bank statements have been reconciled, and I do believe the January financials can be approved.
Ma'am.
Are there any questions? None? Okay.
Have a motion to accept the financials as reported?
I make a motion to accept the financial.
Any discussion?
Do we have anything, any specific, anything new as far as revenues in and out for projects this month?
Okay, repeat that.
The
Sorry.
project revenues and disbursements for this month, did we have any major disbursements this month for?
Major disbursements. The only notable major disbursement this month we did, I meant to put that in I'm glad you said something because I meant to put that in my report. We did make an interest payment on our 2019 bond. It was $23,787.50. That's just the interest part of it. I've got the numbers in there for the actual principal payment later on, which will be due in September. But other than that, we don't have any notable sized ins or outs. We
didn't have any
receive-
draws then on projects in January?
For grants?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a different account.
Okay.
That's because those don't come out of the general fund. This is our operating account. But, we've got.
Those come in and we have to forward them within
go right back
72
out.
Yeah,
hours. So
those
they come and go quick.
Those essentially are hardly seen because, like he said, within 72 hours, they're in and out. So we don't hold on to that money at all.
There is one project that I've been trying to get done with Mr. IT, and that's getting our voice over IP telephone system working.
We finally got our servers though,
Yeah.
but,
That's
so,
true.
but
We do
there's
have our
that.
servers.
Mm-hmm.
We're
So-
ready to roll. We just need the hardware.
Thank you.
That's it. Not coming back up here.
No, we haven't voted.
We have a motion to accept and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Good job. Thank you. Have a motion to adjourn?
No executive session?
No, sir.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
What about council comments?
Council comments? Go ahead.
I would like to just acknowledge that a gentleman named Donald Agnew is going around picking up trash along the side of the road.
Yes, sir.
on
I've
his own
seen him,
time.
he is so kind.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
He does. He gets his bags from us, and he uses our dumpster.
And does he do that every week?
When the weather permits.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
I've seen him out almost daily when weather permits.
yeah.
It's his exercise.
Well-
Is he picking up from the parks also?
Just where we find
Mainly roadways.
Or mainly roadways?
Yeah, mainly the roadways along Camelot. I've seen him on Ivanhoe Drive, around Ipoa has their own people.
Okay, I didn't know if it was the same person.
No, sir.
Really nice man. You ever see him? Stop and talk to him?
I have stopped and thanked him.
Well, good to know.
I also think that, the people that own the boathouse, and all I can remember right now is Virginia. I think that thing they did with the Christmas trees and the Christmas walk or whatever, that was awesome. I thought that was really great for our city. That's all I have.
Okay. Very good.
Second the motion. He made it first.
Yep. Okay, all in favor? All right, well, okay, we are adjourned.